The successful departure of 5 American aid workers from Gaza, Egypt on Wednesday was orchestrated, with considerable behind-the-scenes help from a small group of U.S. soldiers who rushed to Israel after hundreds of Americans were trapped in the military response across border offensive by Hamas. ArrowRight All 5 women, who were among first Americans allowed to leave Rafah border crossing in southern Gaza, spent much of last month under makeshift tents at UN compound, with little access to clean water and food because of Israelis' brutal stance. Ardment, the veterans, former special operations troops who played a similar role during the U.S. evacuation of Afghanistan 2 years ago, are a lifeline to the women's safety. Aid worker Callie Callahan said Thursday. They worked to inform aid workers about efforts to extract them, sharing survival techniques and ensuring they were placed on a list that would guarantee entry into Egypt. Speaking to the Washington Post from Cairo, Callahan said their help was described as offering reassurance and hope amid conflicting rumors and, at times, uncertainty about whether he would survive. Last night was the first night since the attacks without an airstrike or explosion near us. Those in attendance said success story demonstrates the growing importance of nongovernmental organizations that can fill intelligence communications gaps and support evacuation efforts in dangerous parts of world where U.S. authorities have limited or no presence situational awareness. It's a role they plan to continue to fill, using the extensive contacts they made during their military service and deployments in the Middle East and elsewhere. SOAA board member Alex Plitsas said 2 veterans-run organizations, America's Special Operations Corps and Save Our Allies, sent about 24 members to Israel and Egypt to support evacuations after the Hamas attack on October 7. He volunteers abroad from his home in the United States. Each volunteer is selected based on experience working with Egyptians or Israelis. He said, initially, their efforts focused on what Plitsas called herding to help place Americans on daily flights, coordinated by the State Department, and separate charter flights to Cyprus. Plitsas, a nurse practitioner, and Callahan connected through a mutual friend. His team assessed physical mental health of aid workers and relayed their location officials at the U.S. State Department Israeli military to warn them not target area with attacks. They helped Palestinian citizens provide food and medical supplies and reached Egyptian military personnel who would eventually have to approve the women's departure. All of these things combined made it all top of the list, Plitsas said. Callahan, 33, said 5 women traveled through Gaza 5 times in the 25 days between Hamas attacks and their departure for Egypt. Callahan, 33, said communication was sporadic. His international cell phone plan did not work in the Gaza Strip.